your voice calls to me of how life can be. I can't forget all that you gave to me, so don't you worry about where I'm gonna be. I'm still walking with you, I'm still walking with you, I'm still walking with you. I know I'm never gonna leave you. I know you're never leaving me. No matter where I may go on this earth, you know I'm gonna live my life for all it's worth. I'm still walking with you, I'm still walking with you, I'm still walking with you. I know I'm never gonna leave you. I know you're never leaving me. No matter where I may go on this earth, you know I'm gonna live my life for all it's worth. I'm still walking with you, I'm still walking with you, I'm still walking with you.
Welcome. Thank you for coming to Cooper Square's Gala, Staying Safe and Strong. My name is Joyce Ravitz. I'm the chairperson of Cooper Square Committee. The pandemic has changed how we work and live. COVID has upended our lives. The Cooper Square staff has met this challenge. When landlords try to evict tenants and storefronts for non-payment of rent, Cooper Square staff has stepped in to help. We have kept our Lower East Side diverse community strong to keep tenants and storefronts in place. Gentrification is a form of racism. Landlords try to chase poor tenants from their homes and their storefronts. Most of these tenants are people of color. We are fighting to keep them in place. For years, Cooper Square Committee has spoken about housing and racial justice. We are proud of the many diverse communities that thrive on the Lower East Side. We are excited that we will begin our gala with Staceyann Chin, the award-winning spoken word poet. Staceyann has performed on Broadway, off-Broadway, all over the world. This year, she received the American Book Award for her book of poetry, Crossfire, A Litany for Survival. Many of you might have seen photographs of her daughter, Zuri, holding a sign at Black Lives Matter demonstrations. This is a sign that she inherited from Francis Goldin, one of Cooper Square Committee's founders. Now we will hear Staceyann, who wrote this poem because of the murder of George Floyd. Let's go listen to Staceyann Chin.
It is 3:30 in the morning and I'm unable to sleep, so what do? I write a poem. Burning Truths. When armed white Americans entered the Michigan's capital to protest social distancing, not one cop in riot gear was sent to keep order. Among those fine Caucasians, no curfew was imposed, no sweeping arrests made, even as they open carried weapons into a government building. People in power said nothing. Barely 1 month later, Black Death is center stage yet again. This time in a discussion about value and power, about who has the right to speak truth to authority and who has the freedom to demand their silence. It has been 5 nights of fury, angry birds making firewood of North America's image of itself. At 3:15 a.m., I cannot sleep a wink, cannot think, cannot hear myself blink above the roar of helicopters hovering overhead. On the news, other cities burn with the fervor of the young. The number of white cops recorded killing African Americans feeds the smoldering might of our justified rage. The digital age has forced people to abandon poetry in favor of throwing rocks at the impenetrable blue wall. Even white people are beginning to tally the toll of what racism exacts from all of us. Privilege or progressive politics, some of those white kids are hell-bent on burning the establishment to the ground, and the pyrotechnic in me cannot help but see the beauty in that. A crackling display of power, those mostly white boy anarchists infiltrating the largely activist crowds are only reflections of what the sons of white men have become when their own truths become too heavy for them to carry. This moment is only the past returning. No justice, no peace until the past is split open, set right like a bone, shattered badly, left untreated. It festers, and before you know it, the body begins to decay from inside. Inside this hollow brand of American democracy, it takes everything in me not to start my own fucking fire, just to watch the old skins burn. Brittle bristles, crisping, fatty flesh falling away from the bone, the past leaving, making new room for rain, for another grain of wood emerging. My heart breaks for the people who lose property at the hands of those with nothing left to lose. My heart breaks for the people who lose at the hands of those with nothing left to lose. But as we ache, as we mourn the loss of property, as we sum up the damage accrued, I invite you to ask, how much is one Black life worth to you? 1 store? 2 stores? And why does it always seem to be less than what a white life weighs? Why does Black death only matter to you, white folks, when people are burning your cars and smashing your windows inside the parameters of your upscale neighborhoods? Your indifference to our death has been a recycling nightmare for centuries. Tonight's curfew began at 11 p.m. in Brooklyn. Go home, they said, or else we will jail you, nail you to the cross of revolutionaries labeled as thugs. It was only 11 minutes past 10 when I hurried home, driving by the police station at a clip. The sidewalks were barricaded. The line of toy soldiers in riot gear, evidence of a country divided. Out of habit, I screamed, "Whose streets? Our streets!" I leaned into the horn, daring them to respond, to say something. In that moment, I was ready to fling a torch into something, reduce it to ash. I wish I could completely wash my hands of respectability politics. I wish I could go out there and burn everything to the ground. But I am Black, and I am the only parent of a child who still lives inside my home. So instead, I mostly go to the earlier hours of the protests. I chant revolution by any means necessary. And like all the other old ladies, I leave before the young set fire to anything. But tonight, in the dead of this night, before I go to dance with the Sandman, before I lay my head down to sleep, I write this poem to remind you that you have a right to be angry. You have every right to your rage. Rage is justified. It is necessary in the conversation about change. Rage is beautiful. It is justified. It is necessary. Your rage is beautiful and justified and necessary. Our collective rage is beautiful and justified and necessary. So rage on. Rage on. I beg of you, rage on, young people. We will join you when we can. But it is your rage that moves change, that pushes progress. Rage on. Rage on. Rage on until these motherfuckers hear you. Rage on until the work you came to do is done.
Good evening. I'm Steve Herrick, Executive Director of the Cooper Square Committee. I have the privilege and the challenge of speaking after Staceyann Chin's powerful spoken word piece about the struggle for racial justice and equality. As we all know, COVID-19 has had a major impact on all of our lives this year. However, the impact has been far greater on communities of color, which have borne the brunt of the financial and health impacts. Over 3.5 million New Yorkers have applied for unemployment benefits this year. Many tenants and small business owners were already struggling before COVID-19, and now their situation is even worse. Over 25% of low and moderate income tenants are behind in their rent. For Black and Latino tenants, it's closer to 30%, 3 times greater than for white New Yorkers. Many businesses, especially bars and restaurants, are behind in their rent as revenues have plummeted. Roughly 1/3 of New York City businesses are at risk of closing. We can't let our neighbors be evicted or our local small businesses disappear. As one of New York City's leading community-based housing organizations, Cooper Square Committee has worked for decades to prevent displacement of low and moderate income tenants from our community. We've been part of city and statewide campaigns to win and maintain a moratorium on evictions. And we're fighting to cancel rent until COVID-19 has ended. We've worked to connect low-income people, including seniors and families, to benefits and services so that they can stay safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. We've done wellness check-ins with seniors to make sure that they have access to food and other benefits. Tonight, we want to present you with stories that tenants, small business owners, and co-op shareholders have to tell about how they've worked with Cooper Square this past year to improve their situation and to keep our community safe and strong during this pandemic.
If rent is not canceled, I think we put a lot of people's lives at risk because housing is a form of healthcare, and if you don't have housing, it's impossible to take care of yourself. In my building, there were a handful of folks who were furloughed and or just not able to make the usual amount of income, and so they have been not able to pay rent since, I would say, about April. and they have been in touch with our landlord, but they have received, I forget the technical term, but they have received what essentially seems to be eviction papers. And the kind of anxiety that you experience when that happens is extremely unnerving. With the most recent cases of my neighbors being having some eviction notices filed against them, Cooper Square was able to help, put them in touch with legal aid services.
Housing is a human right. The safe harbor is not a moratorium. Okay. We need to cancel the rent. We need real relief. New Yorkers cannot be indebted. This is our moment.
You are unlawfully in the roadway and obstructing vehicular traffic. You are ordered to leave the roadway and utilize the available sidewalk. If you do so voluntarily, no charges will be placed against you.
Steve Croman bought our building and things quickly got weird. He forced out most of the tenants, anyone he could, either, got rid of, forced out. So there were like 10 of us, rent stabilized, people left. Eventually it came to a head when he did demolition. He gutted all of the empty apartments, ripped out a wall, which turned out to be structural, so destabilized the building. There was a staircase to the roof that kind of disappeared. Cooper Square Committee, along with the Urban Justice Center, an attorney from the Urban Justice Center, helped us to challenge all of this. Cooper Square Committee helped us to do an action which brought out press, so it got a lot of attention. We took Coleman to court. We got a settlement, we got rent abatement, and lots of provisions about, tenant protection provisions about, how construction was to proceed, and so when they come back to finish their construction, you want to make sure that, the building doesn't fall down.
For my involvement, it was back in 2015 after the East Village gas explosion. That's when I became a founding board member of EVIMA. We planned for 2016 the first of 3 annual Taste of East Villages, which were on 7th Street. So the Commercial Lease Assistance Program was probably one of the better programs that the city put forward to help small businesses.
Hi, my name is Yoshihide Yonezawa. I'm the owner of the Yotsu Salon. I stay here like around 13 years now, but because of the COVID corona things, I couldn't pay 3 months rent, April, May, June. And then I called the Abigail, and Abigail introduced me attorney Paula, and because of that, I could survive these situations. And my 3 months rent got free forgiveness, and also my lease. I got a 10-year long lease with a good deal. So everything Abigail and Paula helped me. Yeah.
We also hosted, in tandem with Cooper Square, several breakfast meetings and focus groups to learn more about the needs of small businesses. But the Commercial Lease Assistance Program alone, it just showed that the need for community-based small business support was there. And from that, we worked more closely with Cooper Square. And also Cooper Square has been supporting us with developing our 501c6 status. Cooper Square has really come through for us, and we're feeling really confident about where the next few years are going to go, not just as a merchants association, but also as the whole state of small business and recovery. We need to have an organization that's working, and we really believe that Cooper Square Committee is the right organization to work with us, particularly because they're community-based in the East Village, but also the experience of their leadership team.
Cooper Square has worked on a few development projects in the past year. We're managing a project that the Ali Fournet Center is doing in partnership with the Episcopal Diocese of Long Island out in Astoria, Queens. It's going to be a supportive housing for 21 homeless LGBTQ youth. And back in March, just before the lockdown, we were able to get a variance to the Board of Standards and Appeals. We expect this project will be going into construction in the second half of next year. We also managed a landscaping project for the B. Arthur residence, which is a transitional housing facility for LGBTQ youth. We co-developed the building with the Ali Fournet Center and completed it in 2018, but we didn't have the funds to complete the landscaping until just recently. So we got a grant thanks to Assemblymember Deborah Glick, and used the funds to complete the project, and it was just finished in October. The finished product looks great. It includes plantings, furniture, pavers, new tree, and it's a beautiful mural that the Ali Fournet Center commissioned. We expect that the young people will be really happy to use the space and to learn gardening now that it's completed.
Religious institutions are not being used, and they're being sold for luxury housing. One of them was one right down the block from our office called Nativity Church. Nativity Church was built with nickels and dimes from immigrant people. We proposed to the Cardinal and the Archdiocese that we would like to work with them to convert that property into low-income housing under a community land trust. They sold it for something of the price range of over $40 million. We're not only looking at Nativity Church, but we're looking at St. Emerick's over on Avenue D. We're looking at other church properties, including schools that have been closed, to see if we can work with the church to provide low-income housing for our community. So the fight goes on. We strongly believe that we have a solution for the housing problem in this city. Maybe not the solution, but a solution. And that is stop the speculation of our housing through community control of our housing and everything else.
Oh, we started doing the weatherizing program. He helped me through getting the documentation from the tenants and filling out the application, answering questions that the board had. They helped us replace our whole boiler. They upgraded the electrical to LED lighting. It's nice and bright and everything works. We're waiting on vent cleaning and some insulation work, and then that will be done.
Oh, I learned about Cooper Square by calling 311. From there, things just progressed really quickly. We got into the AEP program, then the 7A, and the repairs were done in our building. But we didn't have a working intercom. The intercom has been put in and it works beautifully now. The boiler was replaced. Just so much work was done. My entire apartment, the drywall, the ceilings were redone. Beautifully done, perfectly done. The leaks were all repaired. Everything is just absolutely amazing. Thanks to you, to Cooper Square, and especially Alex Lee.
Ever since March, when the quarantine was issued, what we've decided to do was, obviously not attend to people face to face, but what we did do was take the list of all of our clients and started to conduct wellness checks. So that pretty much helped us reach out to about, 300 people, which is not bad considering that 40% of our clients live alone. And so we had to make sure that they were okay and that they were safe. When we were able to come back at least once a week, I, and of course Christian as well, would have come in and attend to people, and if they didn't have a mask, we'd give it to them right then and there as well. And also for those who are extremely frail, we have done home visits. We were enrolling people to get meals delivered to their homes. We've continued to conduct workshops, albeit remotely, whether it's about safe home or what to do in the eventuality of becoming sick, what to do if you still want to have a will done, a living will, a healthcare proxy, things that are very important at this time. COVID has been hard on all of us, but we have certainly tried to keep our community together, keep our community safe.
Hi, my name is Laura Gibson, and I'm a singer-songwriter in the East Village, and I'm wholeheartedly honored to support Cooper Square Committee by playing a couple songs. 5.5 years ago, I was living on 7th and 2nd, and my building burned to the ground with everything I owned, and in a gas explosion. And Cooper Square Committee helped connect me to Cooper Square Mutual Housing, and was able to find an apartment and remain in the East Village, a community that I love so much. So it's with so much gratitude that I play a few songs for you. This is not an escape, but I don't know how to hold someone without losing my grip. You'll say I was bound to leave since I first stepped across your borders, since I crawled into your skin, that I heard you whisper in the dark, that you knew where the light would be, and that I saw your shape against the black, and that I've heard you moving beside me. We are not alone, we are more alone than we've ever been. So hurry up and hurry up and find me again. And so I'll pass the lumber mills, I'll pass the coal mines and the parks and the dried up oil fields. I'll pass 1,000 lonely pines that bend their backs against the sun. But I'll mistake the station birds for the sound of my phone ringing. And that I heard you whisper in the dark, that you knew where the light would be. Don't wait for me to walk a straight line, you can only hold your breath so long. We are not alone, and we are more search for my reflection in the crowd. Oh, forget I said love, and also don't forget I said love. We are not alone, we are more alone than we've ever been. So hurry up and lose me, hurry up and find me again. We covered our bodies in the mud and moss, drunk on the rhythm of a cricket song. Damn sure about it. And love was a shape in the slippery light, a flame on a mothlit moonless night. We were damn sure about it. Caught in the arm of a blue-eyed storm, rain on cloud, muscle on bone. You're damn sure about it. And love was a half-blurred call. You rode the creek and the moan of a hardwood floor. Damn sure about it. We were damn sure how that we were. Damn sure about it. We were damn sure about how that we were. Damn sure about it. Well, I changed my name the day I left. I cut my hair, my dress. I was damn sure about it. You were playing piano in an empty room, a ring's finger, a callous thumb. Damn sure about it. We were damn sure how that we were. Damn sure about it. We were damn sure about how that we were. Damn sure about it. Now I'm lost in the belly of a cold museum, staring at the beats of a bird-faced man. Now you're sitting in the kitchen with someone else, stacking up peels of your clementines. Damn sure how that we were. Damn sure about it. We were damn Thank you so much. Hang in there.
We are EVIMA,
the East Village Independent Merchants Association.
We were founded in 2013 with a mission to create a strong and diverse environment that sustains the unique character of our neighborhood
and serves the East Village community.
In July 2020, Cooper Square Committee joined forces with EVIMA through an Avenue NYC grant from the SBS to help organize and grow our commercial association.
Cooper Square Committee and EVIMA have been working together since the first Taste of East Village food festival, all the way back in 2016.
Since then, Cooper Square Committee has worked with a lot of small businesses.
Hosted breakfast meetings and focus groups.
Helped publicize the Commercial Lease Assistance Program.
And referred dozens of business owners to free legal counseling.
We are thrilled to partner with Cooper Square Committee.
We invite you to join EVIMA today,
so we can work together to build a strong small business community in the East Village.
Tell me who are you?
Hello, I'm State Senator Brad Hoylman. It's truly a privilege to celebrate the Cooper Square Committee, whose incredible housing and small business advocacy work, along with its one-on-one counseling work, serves and protects thousands in our community each year. I want to thank you, especially Joyce Ravitz and Steve Herrick, for all your work in hosting this amazing gala. CSC exemplifies what it means to work collaboratively, and they've been instrumental in developing and working with other community and tenant organizations for so many years. We're honoring one of those partners here tonight, the East Village Independent Merchants Association, or EVIMA as we all know it by. EVIMA united and supported small independent businesses as merchants struggled to survive and retail vacancies became commonplace during this terrible pandemic. And that was even before COVID. Now with this pandemic raging, the existential threat has become even more formidable. Even in the face of impossible circumstances, EVIMA has stepped up and fought each and every day to organize the small business community. They've held frequent Zoom meetings, communicated complicated and ever-changing regulations, and found legal and financial support for businesses in need. And critically, we're working together now to advocate for much-needed rent relief through legislation Assemblymember Harvey Epstein and I introduced called Save Our Storefronts, along with the support of our council member, Carlina Rivera. I can't thank EVIMA enough. Right, Harvey?
Thanks, Brad. It really is true. We are really honored to be here with Cooper Square Committee in this really difficult time. Again, my name is Harvey Epstein. I'm the assembly member in the 74th District. And EVIMA has been such a champion. When COVID hit, they stayed in touch with dozens of small businesses in our community, helped them access PPP loans in dealing with the economic disaster we faced in our community. When the East Village went indoor dining, they were really helping the small business promote their events and help them with sales. It was really amazing. COVID has disrupted all activities in our community, and EVIMA has been a really mature organization to help these small businesses, these stakeholders. In addition, they created their own 501c6, a nonprofit merchant association, really critical to our community. This partnership with Cooper Square Committee has been a phenomenal opportunity to bring our community together even more. I know while Brad and I are fighting for our legislation in Albany, Carlene has been a champion here in this city as well. There's only one way to save our storefronts. It's really to help them forgive their commercial rents so they can stay alive. I want to thank EVIMA for all they're doing for our community. I want to thank you for what you do. And I want to thank Cooper Square for being such an amazing partner. And luckily now I'm here to be able to hand it over to our right friend, Carlina Rivera.
Hi, everyone. I'm Councilwoman Carlina Rivera, and for those of you that may not know me, I represent the 2nd Council District, and that represents Flatiron, Gramercy Park, Rose Hill, Kips Bay, Murray Hill, Lower East Side, and of course, the infamous East Village, the most exciting place in the world. I am so excited to be here virtually to honor EVIMA for their contributions to the East Village and for their perseverance in the light of this pandemic. Since taking office, I have prioritized legislation designed to uplift our small business owners. And when the pandemic hit in March, the fight for the future of our small businesses became more urgent than ever before. For the last 7 months, small business owners have been put in unimaginable situations where they are forced to consider abandoning their dreams in order to stave off financial ruin. And when I saw what's going on, I passed a bill temporarily suspending the enforcement of personal liability clauses in commercial leases, and then I extended my original bill until March 2021. And when the mayor cut funding to the Commercial Lease Assistance Program, the only program that offers free legal services for the city's small businesses, I fought back. And always, who had my back? EVIMA. Small businesses have always been the heart and soul of our city, and I will not let COVID change that. EVIMA and its members exemplified this sense of community. They've worked tirelessly to maintain the creative and diverse character of the East Village. And during the pandemic, they worked to connect members and other small businesses to resources. And they're working now to support one another through their holiday crawl. So remember to shop local. We are so grateful to have these fierce small business owners working together for our community. And thank you to the Cooper Square Committee for recognizing and honoring them today. Congratulations, everyone.
We at EVIMA are very excited to accept this award.
We've been working very hard since we started in 2015 and have put a lot of time into helping East Village small businesses to thrive and also to survive during COVID.
So we appreciate being honored by Brad Hoylman, Harvey Epstein, and Carlina Rivera and recognized through this award.
We couldn't have found a better partner than Cooper Square Committee and look forward to what's to come in the future.
We will continue to work together no matter what is thrown our way.
We're stronger and safer together.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you for spelling my name right on this award.
Love Cooper Square Committee.
Woo-hoo.
Thank you.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains. And I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And for that we have each other, and we will rise, we will rise, so we will rise. Oh, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up. In spite of the ache, I will rise 1,000 times again, and we'll